Okay, this is some of what I was telling you earlier when I called on the phone. I'm going to just give you an overall view, then we're going to talk about it. See that right there is where your truss starts and stops, and your wall starts. If you zoom in at the very top, you can see that even the top of the truss, we had to cut the sheeting back a little bit, which is no big deal on the sheeting, but the framing is the issue. You can see Josh, hit that bottom piece with your hammer, Josh. This from 4 foot up, I think that's gonna be solid. But then when you start that joint, see the joint right there where his finger is, from there up, it just gets worse. Now, we beat on this down here at the bottom, right at your floor, and that tells you that the floor is gonna be okay. Your framing right here is gotten a little bit wet, but that piece right there, we'll replace it. We'll come back to this joint right there where it was solid. And then all this over here is solid. All the water was on the left side, from the outside, left side of the chimney. But look at this right here. Josh, pour that piece of sheeting right there at the back of the masonry right there. See how that's just crumbling? Now, what I was telling you, I haven't gotten a dollar figure yet, but I was telling you 2 options. I'm struggling to, let me just give you an overview. We still got some trash, and obviously we're gonna clean up every day. But I labeled it a Band-Aid. We can cut that sheeting from the floor up about 6 inches off that door and do a stud pack all the way up to the band, and then extend it from there through the truss on up to the back side of that truss and tie. Like right here, we can cut back the truss and the wall stud back to, you can see a joint. I don't know if you can see it real good, but there's a joint right there. We can anchor to this one, and then we'll tie into that one and extend that over to our new stuff, and then extend down. And the framing right there, same thing, so we can leave your bottom piece on the inside of your masonry. We can cut back to that first little stud, tie into it, and all the way over here, and just frame all that back in, including the sheathing. Now, when we first talked, my bid did incorporate that hole. We were gonna finish off the hole, do whatever framing necessary, but now this is turning into a bunch of rot, and especially with the truss right here. Like I said, we can marry into something solid and move forward. Now, just to give you some idea, that would be the extent of the first dollar figure. Second dollar figure, to be 100%, we'd have to take that door out. The only other thing on the outside, the door would have to come out and get to the sheeting above the door, because you can see right here, the framing that comes, I'm coming across, so I'm being careful. Right here, it's not pretty. That's where I was talking about. We would come up about 6 inches off that door, down from the floor up, cut the sheeting back, frame up to it, not knowing what's behind this. So we just go all the way up to the top. And then obviously I put the insulation back in. But if you wanted to tear it all out, the only way that we could do, I'm coming on the inside just so I can get you a full extent of what I wanted to tell you. If we were to come further back and do it all the way, obviously all the masonry would need to come out, because these are trusses, so your ceiling, you actually have about a 2.5 foot area from that peak right there, that point, to the roof, because they're trusses, it's not stick built. So you have airflow in your attic space, which is very minute, because over here in this corner, it goes down to probably 5 to 6 inches. But the only reason I say that is we would have to take the masonry out. We could leave the masonry, but I don't know that it's going to stay there, because the masonry is anchored to the woodwork on the outside. Same thing with the sheetrock. Now, there's 2 problems if we go to that extent. One problem would be, obviously we had to put sheetrock back, assuming that you wouldn't want to put stone back, which I don't do stone. I don't even know anybody does stone. But at that point, to get the paint to look right, you'd need to paint from that corner. Obviously, we'd sheetrock inside, and that paint would need to continue all the way down to that corner there for it to look perfect. Now, we might could not paint all that wall. We just paint where we tear out the new sheetrock, but it may not match exactly. The other question mark would be if we come on the inside because we tore out all the rot, including what we can't see, that it may be some above that door over there, is your floor covering. Now, there's a couple things we could do there. We could come back to each joint if we could get this exact floor covering. I don't know. Or we could just square off around the edges and put a border and start back with new flooring just for the area. It sounds a little odd maybe. I'm just trying to give you options because I don't know that you're going to want to tear up half of this floor to weave in where that fireplace was. And if you were going to do that, you just want to replace the entire floor, because I remember coming here prior to you guys buying it because there were some issues with the floor covering. That would be the bigger dollar figure of the two, and we're still figuring on what it would cost. Because if we were to take out all the rot on the outside, I don't know that masonry would stand long term. It might. I don't know. If you want to okay it, I don't mind taking a chance on it, or we put the Band-Aid on it and keep moving. Now, obviously, if we put the Band-Aid on it, and I'm sorry about it's probably the wrong term, but you still would have a 3 to 4 inch, 5 inch section right here from the wall studs that we're going to add in to the face of the masonry there. So, I mean, we could finish off the inside. I think Mr. Devlin said something about maybe some shelves in there or whatever, but I just want to be real thorough about the options. Okay, I'll get this video ready to send, and I'll try to put you a quote together for both, and I'll get it to you as quick as I can. Thank you so much.